What if there was an artificial brain that can make anything you ever wanted? And all you need to do is write a text prompt that will be fed into the artificial brain. And what the artificial brain will do is generate the required code as well as generate a 3D mesh that will be 3D printed. And then it's going to combine that into whatever you want. Not only are you going to be able to do this with any piece of technology, but you will be able to do this with all types of software. Whether you want to build the next biggest third-person shooter game or build the next social media mobile application, you will be able to do this in one sentence. And this technology is here today. Whoa. I know what you may be saying. This random guy on the internet called the AI Whisperer is telling me that there's this all-powerful, semi-sentient technology that can make anything I ever wanted? You damn right there is, and I'm gonna teach you how to use it right now. Now, before we actually start playing around with this technology, I just wanna show you how this stuff works through these nice, simple, beautiful animations that I made. And without further ado, welcome to this video on prompt engineering. Now, the algorithm that's at the absolute core and powers prompt engineering is called the artificial neural network. A neural network is a black box algorithm that has a special power of finding patterns in large amounts of data. Now, it's a black box algorithm because we don't have a quantifiable way of knowing what patterns the neural network is finding, and it's a learning algorithm because the neural network learns to associate these patterns with a specific label. For example, alright, so let's say we want to train a neural network to understand sign language. What we're going to do is collect a data set of sign language and train a neural network on this data set. And so what the neural network will do is go through the data set and find common patterns, okay? So here I'm on this website called Teachable Machine, and the power of Teachable Machine is that you can build these neural networks right in the browser, and you can do this with just a couple clicks of a button. So it's a great website for learning and just experimenting and maybe building something that's useful. So here I have two categories. I have one for yes and one for no. And what I'm going to do is just collect a data set of me doing sign language. And so if I click this webcam here, it's going to connect to my webcam and I can start recording. Okay, so I'm going to hold to record and I'm just going to record myself saying yes in sign language. And this is how you say yes. Okay, so just like that, I'll collect about 100 samples, just like that, and boom, we now have our nice data set. Okay, so now for no. So I'm going to do the same thing. So this is how you say no. So it's kind of fun just doing this. So whenever you're at Starbucks, just do this to random people. No, I'm joking. Don't do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to collect the data set, right? I'm just going to hold. I'm going to get 100 samples. Now, you do want your classes to be even and have the same amount of data. So that looks good. And all I'm going to do now is just train this model. And what the model will do is go through this data set and find common patterns and associate it to the specific label that it's under. So for the yes, it's going to go find common patterns of how you say yes in sign language and connect it. And that's the power of neural networks, right? What I can do now is I can say yes, and look, it's accurately predicting my yes. And I can do the same with no. So no, 100%, and boom. And you can see it's very intelligent, right? Boom, no. Now, if I do nothing, it's kind of confused. It starts getting, okay. But I can add another class that says nothing, or there's no prediction. So that's very cool, right? And this shows you the power of this technology. And it's really cool because this is what they do in self-driving technology. This is what they do for chess-playing AIs, superhuman AIs, right? Now, what happens when you get all the data on the internet as well as all the computational power that you can get and combine that? Well, you get prompt engineering with a very powerful neural network that's capable of doing very intelligent things. And this is exactly what's behind prompt engineering. Alright, beautiful. Now that we know what a neural network is, we can start looking at some really cool applications of prompt engineering. Now there's an AI research company called OpenAI made by the one and only Elon Musk. And what they did is they collected a labeled dataset of all the code on GitHub and then trained a very powerful neural network on this dataset. And so after training this neural network for a couple months, what OpenAI created was this artificial brain that was able to make a connection between language and code. So not only are you able to pass in code as input and it's going to summarize what that code is doing, but you can pass in a sentence and it's going to generate code based off whatever sentence you passed in. So you can quite literally ask this artificial brain to make any piece of software for you. And this is exactly what led to the creation of Codex. Now before we actually start using Codex, I want to talk about this other very powerful neural network called Clip. Now Clip is another neural network that was made by OpenAI, although the difference is that Clip is a neural network that's been trained on a dataset that connected language with images. And so you can very well pass in any text and this neural network will generate an image that represents that text. Now engineers are already using this algorithm to tune it to various other cases, like taking text as input and generating a 3D mesh, and even taking text as input and generating a whole animation. And so you can literally build all these different applications in a conversational way without ever studying animations or studying how to sculpt or even studying how to code. And this is the idea of prompt engineering, being able to make anything you want in a sentence. And without further ado, let's play around with one of these very powerful artificial brains. Alright, so let's use the almighty Clip model. Now, in order to use this model, you do need to click the link in the description, and that's going to send you to this Google Colab notebook. And if you don't know what Google Colab is, it's really just a website that allows you to run Python in the web browser. So you can run this on your phone, on a tablet, on your computer. So that's the beauty of this website here. And they give you access to a free GPU, which is that computational power to run your algorithms a lot faster, which is very nice. So on this Google Colab notebook, you'll see that you can generate mind-blowing AI art in 5 minutes. Now, I do have another video on this channel where I go through each code block individually and I give you some tips and tricks. I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm going to run through it quickly. So what I'm going to do is just scroll down and I'm going to go to this parameters for neural network section. And then I'm just going to go to the runtime tab and do run before. And what this is going to do is it's going to run all the code blocks before that code block. Okay, so as you can see, it's running it. I just did it. But yeah, so go to the runtime and then do run before, and that's going to run all the code blocks before. And now what we can do is we can work on a prompt. So the way I think about these prompts is that you're sort of communicating to this artificial brain that's been trained on the entire internet. So you can use specific words, and these words are called keywords, to activate specific neurons in this brain, which will give very cool output, okay? So there's by Greg Rutkowski, which is going to generate a very nice landscape, nice dark colors. I think it's very nice art. But the one I'm going to show you guys today is this one here. So I'm going to say Tower of Dreams by Thomas Kinkade in Unreal Engine. So I have 2 keywords here. So it gets really funky once you start adding on more and more keywords. I think it's really cool. So that's sort of my trick when it comes to this. So all the code blocks above just finished, so I can head down here. Now there are a couple things. You can change your model. So there's different models that have been trained on different things. ImageNet has been trained on the entire internet. WikiArt on Wikipedia art. Faces HQ trained on faces, so if you want to generate faces. But that's if you want to watch the other video. And then you can pick your model here. And yeah, so we have our prompt. So all we need to do now is just press Shift and Enter on this code block. You can also go to the Runtime tab and do Run Selection. But yeah, so let's run the art generator and let's see what happens. So you can see that this is the prompt that we're passing in, and now it's just going to do its computation, right? So it's gonna reiterate, and it's just it's gonna improve the image as it goes. Now it does take about 10-15 minutes for a really nice image to appear. So yeah, I'm gonna let this run, and I'll see y'all in a jiffy. All right, so check this out. So at 250 iterations, well now 300, we generated something that I think is absolutely phenomenal. This is straight out of Doctor Who. This is a whole other universe that we're looking at. I think it's absolutely amazing that a neural network made this, right? And you can really try any text prompt and it's going to generate something meaningful based off that text prompt. Now, if you want to learn more about these text prompts, I do have a Discord community of generative artists, so feel free to join there. We share a bunch of cool sentences that you can try for a clip, so definitely check it out. As you see, all the art behind me is generated. That's pixel art, so if you try the pixel art keyword, you're going to generate stuff like this. And if you want to become a generative artist master, and you want to learn how to generate music, language, all types of images, check out the course in the link in the description. I have this course where I teach you how to become a master generative artist, and you don't need to know anything. You don't even need to know how to code. You don't even need to know how to machine learning works. I teach you everything from the ground up. So definitely check it out if you want to become a generative artist master. Now, as you see here, we've generated a very nice painting. And what we can do is we can run the following code blocks and we can increase the resolution with another GAN, with another type of neural network. And so you just have to run these code blocks and it'll generate, it'll just 4 times whatever resolution, whatever height and width you have, it's going to 4 times it and it's going to make it look really good. Okay. So definitely check that out, but that's going to conclude clip and let's check out Codex. All right. So here I am in the Codex playground. Now, in order to access this Codex playground, you do need a private API key. So the way I got my API key is I tweeted at the CTO of OpenAI, and he gave me the API key through the DM. So feel free to do the same. Just don't spam him. But yeah, so once you get your API key, you'll have access to this Codex playground. And so what you can do is you can pass in natural language, and it's going to convert it into Python, which is absolutely, I think, amazing, right? So what I can do is I'm going to build the snake game in 2 sentences. Okay, so in 2 sentences, we're going to build the classic snake game that we all know and love. Okay, so what I'm going to say is define a Python function, which is a classic snake game, period. Just like that, okay? Anyone can do this, right? So display, the second sentence will be display a playing field. Display playing field using Pygame library. Oh, sorry, I can't really type right now. So these are the 2 sentences that we're going to pass in to this neural network, and it's going to generate the snake game for us just with these 2 sentences. Now, there are a couple tricks that you can do. So one of those tricks is leading the neural network in the right direction. So what I can say is just the first line of code that I want the neural network to generate the rest of the code based off of. So I'm going to say import Pygame. So this is just the Python package to building games in Python. So what I can do now is just click generate, and it's going to generate all the code for us. And you can see it's starting. It's getting our apple. It's getting everything that we want. Look at it go. So I think it's absolutely beautiful. Amazing, right? This is just mind-blowing technology, possibilities of this. Again, so I'm going to let this run for a bit, and I'll see you guys once it's done. All right, so we have our code here. So really all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to copy and paste this into Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to run this script and see, maybe we have a bug, maybe we have to fix something, but I'm looking at this and it looks pretty good. It looks like we generated everything. It did the score, it created all these different functions that relate to the snake game. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it into my Visual Studio Code. So yeah. All right, beautiful. So I have the code in my Visual Studio Code. Say that a million times. So what I can do is I can open up my terminal here. So I'm going to go to Terminal tab and then do new Terminal. And this is going to open it up here. And what I can do is just activate my environment for my machine learning. And this just gives me access to all those machine learning Python packages. And from here, I can do Python, and I call it snake.py. Okay, so when I run snake.py, let's see what happens. Okay, we got a window in Pygame, so that's nice. And so what's going on? Okay, so I just pressed the keyboard, and it seems like I'm moving this character. So when I touch that, I get an extra body on my snake. 2 sentences. We did this in 2 sentences. Do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? I don't even know what this means. But very cool technology, right? We built this in 2 sentences. I think it's absolutely beautiful. What happens if we die? Beautiful. That's exactly what we want. Does it work when we press C? It does work when we press C. Wow. Incredible. Incredible. Okay, what happens when we press Q? It quits. Look at that. Look at that. Incredible. Honestly, I'm mind blown. So that's great. But I want to show you some even cooler things. So let's go back to the playground. All right, so I'm back here in the Codex playground. Now, for these examples here, I'm gonna go more into the route of cybersecurity and hacking because that's another interest of mine. So what we're going to do now is we're gonna make a DOS attack, a denial of service attack, which is different than the DDoS attack, which is the distributed denial service when you have a bunch of computers attacking one computer. But we're going to do a DOS attack, which is just one computer attacking another computer, okay? So for this example here, all I'm going to say is one sentence again. So make me, actually I'll say define a Python function that does a DOS attack, okay? I don't know if this is illegal. I don't think so. I'm a fan of cybersecurity, so this is for the purpose of research, of course. So I'm going to import star. Okay, so this is the package that allows you to do denial service attacks in Python. And so now what I can do is we can generate some code. So I'm going to change the response length maybe to 600. I do know this requires a bit more code. Actually, I think it does. Let's do 300. Let's start with 300. So let's generate. Let's see what happens, right? So we're building a function called DOS. Seems like it's doing a TCP call, which is pinging another website. Okay, oh my God, we're building a ping of death attack. Oh my God. All right, let's keep going. It seems like it's generating all these different functions that do a bunch of different hacking. Oh my God. Okay, so it seems like it's a bit stuck on this Smurf attack. What else has it made us? Ping of death attack. Okay, I like it. ICMP attack. Oh my God. RST attack. DOS attack. So we have a bunch of functions here that do a bunch of different attacks. We even have this username called Hacksaw as VP. So that's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm not going to try this out. Share your IPs in the description so I can attack you. No, I'm joking. Cool, very cool. But I want to show you something else that's cryptography related. So what I'm going to say is, so let me just find this other example here. It is, okay, so the other example, so again, this is going to be cryptography related. So I'm going to say, make me a Bitcoin miner. Okay, actually, let's say define a function. Define a function that mines Bitcoin. Boom. And the package I want will be from #lib import SHA-256. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask Codex to make a Bitcoin miner. So it's not going to actually mine Bitcoin, but I think we'll be able to connect it to the blockchain, and it's going to mine and solve computational problems for us, right? So let's generate. Let's see what happens. Okay, so seems like it made a string, and it's trying to. Okay, let's keep generating. So it's not really making a Bitcoin. It's making a Bitcoin miner, but not in the way I want it to. So maybe I can say define a class. I think a class might be a bit more suitable to this Bitcoin miner here. And let's see what happens. So it makes a class for us. We have a function here for compute difficulty. We have a mine function. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm sure if you know cryptocurrencies, you understand some of these words here. Get reward, beautiful. And then they call the Bitcoin miner. Look at that. Look at that. That's crazy. I think that's it. That's amazing, right? We just build a Bitcoin miner. So if you want to mine Bitcoin, just ask Codex and it's going to make it for you, right? That's the idea. Sorry, I just got another idea. Define a class. Make me a cryptocurrency in Python. No way it's gonna do this. Make me a class cryptocurrency. No, sorry. Define a class that builds a cryptocurrency in Python. And I think for this, we'll just say OS. I'm not too sure what uses it. I think for a blockchain, actually, we'll say blockchain. Blockchain is definitely a better word. Blockchain in Python. Let's see what happens. So maybe it's not able to build a blockchain for us. Oh, okay. So we have our blocks. We have mining reward. Look at that. Okay, so it is building a blockchain for us actually. So, all right. I'm just gonna stop it here. Let's just keep generating from here. So we're building a blockchain right now with Codex. Very cool. So I'll see you guys on the. I'll become a trillionaire by next week. I'm joking. So yeah. Another very cool application of Codex. Now I'm gonna stop the video here. If you did enjoy this video, if you thought there were some cool technologies, if you learned something, please subscribe, please like the video. It would mean a lot. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep releasing YouTube videos. I'll keep showing you guys some cutting edge AI videos similar to this here. So again, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.